Please subscribe to our channel, Pacific Front Untold, and be sure to leave a comment after watching a video. Unit 731 of the Imperial Japanese Army was established in the context of Japan's rapid modernization in the aftermath of World War I and the global rise of fascism. The Meiji Restoration transformed Japan from an isolated and primarily agrarian society into a highly industrialized nation, eager to become as powerful as the Western states it emulated. This rapid industrialization raised concerns about the lack of resources and habitable land, prompting Japan to expand throughout Asia and obtain colonies. As part of its expansionist policies to solve its overpopulation problem, in 1931, Japanese forces invaded Manchuria and created the puppet state of Manchukuo to obtain the land's valuable resources and extra living space. Unfortunately for the civilian population, Manchuria was turned into one gigantic biological and chemical warfare laboratory, as Sheldon Harris notes in his book Factories of Death, to fulfill the nation's quest for hegemony. It is important to note that it was not politicians or military agencies that led the movement towards biological warfare. In both Germany and Japan, the nation's respective leading scientists initiated the research. Ishii Shiro was a graduate student at Kyoto University studying bacteriological, serological, and pathological sciences. He traveled to 25 European and American countries and ultimately observed that research on biological warfare had not advanced in Japan. After being appointed as the Minister of Epidemic Prevention in the Kwangtung Army, he enthusiastically promoted the development of biological warfare weapons. Like other prominent scientists, Ishii had observed its potential for defeating entire armies in World War I. The Geneva Protocol of 1925 that called for the prohibition of such weapons was not ratified in Japan, and Japan's withdrawal from the League of Nations in 1933 allowed Ishii's network of over 10,000 scientists to secretly develop their research as early as 1931 without international oversight or restraint. Hundreds, if not thousands, of Chinese prisoners and other Allied prisoners of war were subjected to human experimentation in underground research facilities. Marutas, the Japanese term for logs, were subjected to intense pressure chambers, exposure to deadly diseases like bubonic plague and anthrax, and live vivisection without anesthesia. It has been theorized that the term Marutas was used to dehumanize the subjects, thereby enabling the scientists to conduct their research without hesitation. Unit 731 tested its weapons by releasing plague bombs and contaminating water sources in the Chinese countryside. Many local populations were killed, and those who survived were left with rotting legs and other side effects that often condemn the victims to a life of poverty. Between the years of 1939 and 1945, it is estimated that these experiments killed and poisoned more than 1 million Chinese, Koreans, Mongolians, and Russians. The Chinese countryside alone suffered more than 250,000 deaths as a consequence of Japanese biological warfare. Despite the severity of these war crimes, most of the members in Ishii's network were not prosecuted or even tried at the end of the Second World War. The United States government granted the scientists immunity in exchange for the scientific data collected during the experiments. This information would later be used to create deadly biological weapons in the Korean War.